Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to a new episode of the Montreal Canadiens franchise mode in NHL 20. The 45, 12, and 6 Montreal Canadiens sitting at 96 points, 14 points ahead of the Lightning, 18 points ahead of the Leafs at the trade deadline. First place in the NHL, just absolutely on fire. Cole Caulfield has 48 goals in 63 games. 73 points, well over a point per game. He's gone up to an 86 overall. Domi having a very strong year. Kotkaniemi 90 overall, only making 7.5 for the next 6 years. He's only 21. One of the better contracts for a high-end player in the league for sure. Drouin doing well. Gallagher approaching 30 goals. Sam Steele doing very well in his first full year with the team. Shea Weber at 36 years old. 35 points plus 13, 88 overall. He's not slowing down. Kreider doing pretty good in that bottom six. Alexander Romanov, 32 points plus 20. He's actually up to an 87 at 22 years old. Kovalchuk there at 38, 31 points. Dano, very good centerman there. Brody, Paling having a decent year, 25 points going down the list. So far, so good. As for goaltending, now, this is a bit weird. Carey Price went down from elite to starter. He went down from a 91 to an 86 so far. But look at that season. He's having 36, 9, and 3 with 4 shutouts. He's playing better than last year when he was I believe it was an 87 or 88. Anyways, he's playing better now that he's not even listed as elite anymore. So that's a bit odd. Kaden Primo doing very good as a backup. 82 overall. There you go. So I'm just going to double check our team in Laval. I want to see how they're doing down in the AHL. They're first in the division as well. There you go. Both Laval and Montreal first in the division. The Sound Tigers are first in the league. Taking a quick look at scoring here. Looks like Jordan Wheel leads the team in points. Then you got Veroni, Barber, Di Giuseppe, Kolak there. In the top 5 as a defenseman. Looking good. All right, taking a quick look at goaltending here. We have Elvis Merzlikins. Michael McNiven has not lost in regulation this year. Wow. So you got Elvis, he's 82 overall. Then Michael McNiven, 71 overall, backing him up. Looking good both in Laval and Montreal. Now, we are at the trade deadline. And honestly, guys, I think I'm not even going to make a move. Our team is listed as champion right now. The team is just absolutely on fire. I think I'm even going to move Domi up to the first line. He's 87 overall. I think he's earned that top spot. The rest of the team, I'm not going to move anything. We have good chemistry, especially the second line there. Defense is looking great as well. And, of course, we see goaltending. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to slow sim the game against the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to slow sim until Caulfield gets goal number 50. Can it be in Edmonton against McDavid and Draisaitl? Let's get into this game. Let's sim up the rest of the regular season and hopefully a long playoff run. Here we go. Caulfield going for 50 after 1 is 2-2. Paling and Romanov, McDavid and Neal. So the stars are showing up on the ice tonight. Period number 2. Let's see if we can take the lead here in the second. And it is 4-3. Cole Caulfield still has it scored. Brodin, Brody, and Steele. All right, let's look at the rest of the game. And there is number 50. Cole Caulfield, back-to-back power play goals. 6-3 win. Cole Caulfield has 50 goals on the year. 1 day after the trade deadline. All right, 98 points. This team is insane. Look at that. 50 for goal, Caulfield. Well over a point per game. Things are looking great in Montreal so far. February 27th, and we already have a 50 goal score. All right, so we got to slow sim. I'm going to slow sim these 2 games against the Boston Bruins. Those are going to be big games for sure. Play against the Wild, we lose 4-3. Playing the Pittsburgh Penguins, we beat Sidney Crosby, Malkin, and Thomas Tatar 4-3. Slow sim this game against the Bruins here. Division rival, we beat them. I believe it was 7-1 earlier this year. And Shea Weber scores right off the bat a power play goal. Let's keep it going. 2-1, Stanika and David Pastrnak. One of the guys that could possibly win the Rocket this year. Him and Ovi are in the race, as well as Austin Matthews, maybe even Leon Draisaitl. Very close Rocket Richard race in real life. Period number 2, 3-1. Patrice Bergeron scores. And Kovalchuk gets one, but it's too little too late. Coyle and Pasta gets the second of the game. We dropped that one 5-2. So looking at the Lightning, they are 8 points behind us. So we do have a pretty comfortable lead so far. Like to get some wins going and keep that momentum going at the end of the year. 6-2 against the Lightning. That's what I like to see. Did a 3-2 win against the Boston Bruins. The Flyers put a beating on us. 6-2 OT win against the Penguins. We seem to be playing well against Pittsburgh this year. And now I'm going to slow sim this game after a couple of losses. The defending Stanley Cup champions, the team that came back down 3-1 to beat us in the finals last year. We want our revenge. Gallagher, Andre Kasha score for them. Tie game after 2. It is 2-1. Brendan Gallagher with his second of the game. Can he get a hat trick? And no, Henrique gets last scored, and Ryan Poehling gets one late in the game to send us into overtime. Alright, I would love to see Gallagher score the OT winner. He's not. I'm going to intervene. Going to jump into the shootout and see if the boys can pull off the win. And that looks like Kotkaniemi on the left side with that A. Here we are. Jesperi Kotkaniemi starting in. And he gets poke checked by John Gibson. Tried a couple of dangles. Here's Ricard Raquel coming in on Carey Price, who stops him with the blocker. Close that right side. Here's Ilya Kovalchuk. Great shot still at 38. A couple of deeks and he goes top corner with the backhand. What a great move. Here comes Ryan Getzlaf on Carey Price, and he can't get it. He fans on shot. Cole Caulfield coming in, number 8, and Cole Caulfield does what he does best. He roosts in on John Gibson to give us the win. 32-38 were the shots. What a great shot by Cole Caulfield. Nice to see him in a Habs jersey. Now, he may stay in Wisconsin next year, depending on how his development goes, how his physical strength is, if he's ready to jump in the NHL. I believe Bergevin will meet with him in Wisconsin after a season and see. I don't want them to rush him. I want to make sure he's ready. But I just can't wait to see him and Romanov as well in the NHL shortly. Romanov, of course, playing in Russia as we beat the Panthers, lose against the Rangers, 7-3 win against the Red Wings. There you go. So right now we have 3 games to go. Playing against the Carolina Hurricanes, and Caulfield has 59 goals. He has 3 games to get 1 goal and make it 60. Oh my goodness. So the Hurricanes have 106. We have 114. We are actually 9 points ahead from the Lightning. So we have secured the division for sure. So we have secured the President's Trophy. There you go. So I would like to get some wins here at the end of the year to just get that momentum going for a Stanley Cup playoffs. Playing against the Carolina Hurricanes. Cole Caulfield looking for goal number 60. Period number 1 is 1-0. Eric Haula scores on Carey Price. We can't tie it up in a second. And we do lose that game. Jay Gardner and Alex Steen. Matt Murray gets one. Max Domi got one on Matt Murray, but it's too little too late. Alright, playing against the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders. A couple of home games here to end off the year. I would love to see Caulfield get 60 before the end of the year. Come on, he only needs 1 goal. Period number 1, 1-0. Malgin scores on Price. Come on, Caulfield, get one to tie it up in a second. And there it is, number 60 on the year for Cole Caulfield. Power play goal on Sergei Bobrovsky. Ryan Poehling and Chris Kreider score, and Malgin gets the second of the game. And we end up winning 5-3. There's number 61 for Caulfield. Dano and Dadonov. Caulfield gets the insurance marker in the empty net at the end of the game. What an insane season for Cole Caulfield. He might win the Rocket. 61 goals, 94 points. Wow, 1 game to go against the New York Islanders. They're 41-32-7, so definitely a decent record. Hopefully we can end off the year on the right note. Get ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Here we go, playing against the Islanders in the Bell Center. Last game of the year. Period number 1 is 3-1 for the Islanders. Barzell and then a couple of Genos from Eberle. Drouin scores and Mrazek. Period number 2, we can't get anything going. Can we tie it up in the third? We cannot. Dubinsky scores on Price. Unfortunately, we do end up losing the last game of the year. We end off the year with 55 wins, 116 points. We win the President's Trophy. We're actually only 5 points ahead of the Lightning, so they close the gap a bit at the end of the year. I'm excited to see the point totals for the entire NHL and goals. As for our team, Cole Caulfield went absolutely nuts. Look at that. Shooting percentage of 16, 24 power play goals, 8 game-winning goals matching his jersey number, 94 points on the year. Domi had a very good year, 72 points. KK with 71. Drouin, 66. Steele, 58. Gallagher, 51. Just shy of 30 goals. 47 points at 36 for Weber. 42 points for Romanov at plus 20. So averaging just over a point per 2 games. Look at that. Kovalchuk there at 38. 39 points, 21 goals. There you go. I love to see that. Paling, 33 points, up to an 80 overall from last year. That's good to see. Suzuki there, still an 80. Fleury and Mété, they didn't have a lot of points, but they were a combined plus 39. So that's what matters. They kept the puck out of the net. Carey Price has a Vezina-worthy season. 44, 17, and 3 with 4 shutouts. 914 save percentage and a 252 goals against. He went down to an 85 and he's playing his best hockey in a few years. That's crazy. Primo there in 82. I don't understand how your rating can go down when you're putting up these kind of numbers. That just doesn't make any sense. Looking at the AHL, those are Elvis stats. Taking a look if they're still first in the division, the Belleville Senators actually passed them. The Senators actually passed him, but they're sitting tied for first. Actually, they're tied with them in the division. So it's definitely going to be a close race in Laval. I'm going to take a look now at the rest of the NHL and then jump into the Stanley Cup playoffs to see who our opponent is. So we, of course, won the President's Trophy for the entire league. 116 points, 55 wins. Then you got the Lightning, the Hurricane, the Sharks, the Stars, the Maple Leafs. I'm going to take a look down the list here and take a look at who was actually last in the NHL. And it is the LA Kings with the Detroit Red Wings right behind. So pretty similar to real life this year in terms of who's last. Taking a look now at points. All right, taking a look at the entire NHL. Who will win the Art Ross? And it is Tyler Seguin. 103 points. The only member of the 100-point club. Caulfield there, number 2. Draisaitl, Couture, Austin Matthews, 49 goals, just shy of 50. Svechnikov with 90. Jack Eichel there. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with 69 assists, very nice. Phil Kessel, exactly 43 goals and 43 assists. Look at that, 36 years old, still putting over a point per game. Pedersen there with 86. Aho, McKinnon, Taylor Hall, Meyer, Marchand, Kane. So the usual players there. Ovechkin hit 50 goals. Sidney Crosby there, 80 points. McDavid, only 79. It's a bit surprising right there. Taking a look at goals, I think Caulfield won the Rocket. And there it is. Cole Caulfield beating Ovi by 11 goals. Gets the Rocket Richard Trophy. Awesome. Fitting that it's a Montreal Canadien that wins it. Looking at points here for defenseman Morgan Riley on top of the list. You can see all the other players down there. Not a lot of goals being scored apart from maybe Carlson and Brent Burns, but a lot of assists. Carlson was a plus 30. Now, in terms of goaltending, Matt Murray, number 1 in wins, but Carey Price right behind him. Vezina might go to Murray, but it's going to be very close. Vasilevsky there. Darcy Kemper, great year for the Hurricanes. Darcy Kemper, great year for Arizona. Then you got Corpusalo, Corey Carter Hart, Riddick, and Ranta, and Gibson Bishop. Taking a look now at the rookies, and at the top of the list, we have Joakim Imanen. He was one of the top picks. He was 2nd overall in the 2021 draft, and got Cole Perfetti. He was drafted 1st overall. He was drafted 6th overall in 2020. So for back-to-back years, the Rangers had top picks. Jake Bean there, great year for the Hurricanes. Nils Hoglander, Joe Veleno, Dylan Cousins, Owen Tippett, Nolan Foote. Kiefer Bellows, and going down the list here, there's Lucas Raymond. All right. Now taking a look at rookie goaltenders. See if there's any crazy goaltenders that stood out. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, 32 and 30 for the Buffalo Sabres. And there's Cade Primo there as backup with our team. All right, it's been almost 30 years since the last cup for the Montreal Canadiens. And they're looking to get another one here. They're looking to get number 25. Our journey starts against the New York Rangers. Okay, as we always do before a series, let's take a look at the lines for the New York Rangers, see who we're playing up against. Artemi Panarin, 93 overall. Zibanejad, 87. And Kaapo Kakko, 85 overall. Great first line. They got Palmieri, Perfetti, and Imanin, the two top rookies of this year on line number 2. Philip Chytil, Bushnevich, and Lias Anderson on the third line. Foligno, Howden, and Butsayev. So I think that we have a slight advantage at forwards. It is pretty close. As for defense, Ryan Suter with Brady Shea, Trouba with Niku, Savard, and Fox. So they definitely have, I mean, their top 4 maybe isn't as good. Their top pairing especially, but their bottom pairings are definitely have the advantage. As for goaltending, Freddie Anderson is in New York. Okay, with backing him up, we have Shesterkin. So both goaltenders are pretty strong, 88 and 84. Mika Zibanejad, as long as he doesn't do like real life and score 5 goals against us, hopefully we'll have a chance to win. And also want to mention, I talked about the Rocket Richard Trophy. Unfortunately, we learned this week of the passing of Audie Richard, Maurice Richard's brother, the Pocket Rocket. He was a legend. 11 Stanley Cups that he won. I don't think that record is ever going to be broken. Definitely a legend in Montreal, a hero for a lot of people. Rest in peace, Audie Richard. So at this point, I'm going to start simulating the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game number 1 at the Bell Center. Let's start it off on the right note. And Cole Caulfield. There you go. And Alexander Romanov, the 2 young kids. Cole Caulfield with 61 goals in a regular season. He gets his 67th goal of the year in the playoffs. Period number 1 ends 2-0. New York, it looks like they do have a power play. We got to kill it off. Romanov's goal was actually, or that was Caulfield's goal, right in the face of Freddie Anderson in the crease. Type of a goal that Gallagher usually scores. Period number 2, can we keep it going? And they actually tie it up. Kaapo Kakko scores 2 and Cole Perfetti, so the young guys are out to play tonight. Andreas Athanasiou, big free agent signing, gets a goal there. Let's slow sim the rest of the third period. Come on, boys. We need a big power play goal. And no, Mika Zibanejad, but Max Domi responds. 2 goals by special teams back-to-back. A shorty and a power play goal. Come on, we still got a power play, it looks like. Then the Rangers got one. We got to kill it off. And Artemi Panarin, the bread man, scores on Carey Price. Come on, boys. Only got 2 minutes to go. And that is all she wrote. 5-4. We dropped game number 1 after getting an early 2-0 lead. We definitely got to bounce back here in Montreal. The good thing is we have home ice advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs, no matter how far we go, given we won the President's Trophy. But we got to take it one game at a time. Period number 1 in game number 2. Let's bounce back and tie it up. 3-2. KK, Domi, 2 power play goals. It's a Zibanejad once again, Brett Howden, and Brendan Gallagher. Period number 2. 4-3. Chris Kreider against his former team. Power play goal. Then Adam Fox scores 1 on Carey Price. 4-3. We are shooting them by almost twice as much. There you go. Twice as many shots. 4-3. This is going to be a close series, I believe. But Philippe Danault scores. Third line center. Freddie Anderson and Carey Price. 2 very, very good goaltenders. I'm surprised there's that many goals, to be honest, in this series so far. Look at that. 35 shots. We are shooting them like crazy. And we win game number 2 in Montreal. Tying up this series 1-1. Heading to Madison Square Garden. Definitely difficult arena to play in. Heading to beautiful New York City. I've never been to New York City, but that's definitely on my bucket list. I'm from a small town in Canada, and I always like to go see big cities like that. Kaapo Kakko scores on Carey Price right off the bat. Can we tie it up? We cannot. Romanov gets one, but Imanin, their early draft pick, I believe he's the one that went second overall. Then Capo Caco score on Carey Price. Only 11-9 the shots. We only got 9 shots in the middle of the third period. Wake up, boys. Oh no. Capo Caco, he's so good. Especially in this game, he seems very well. We get a goal at the end, Cole Caulfield, but it's not enough. Oh, that was actually the second period. I accidentally simmed the third, but there you go. We lose 6-3. Dropping game number 3. So it's going to be a back and forth series, it looks like. As long as we can win this game here in New York and go back to Montreal all tied up, make it a best out of 3. If we lose this game, I may need to do a line change down 3-1, but let's get it tied up. Period number 1. There's Imanin again, 39 seconds in, their second overall draft pick in last year's draft. And period number 2, nothing. We're risking to be down 3-1 against New York in round number 1 after winning the President's Trophy. Come on, Caulfield. He got 61 in the regular season. I'm just asking for 1 right now before the end of the third. 34-20 the shots, and Brendan Gallagher scores a huge goal for the Montreal Canadiens, bringing this game to overtime. Gonna slow sim the OT here. Oh no, our Timmy Panarin, the bread man. He scores on Carey Price. And the New York Rangers have a 3-1 series lead. That's absolutely awful. I'm going to do a few line changes because right now it's do or die. And I'm going to put up the best team I can out there. So our first line, really, I'm going to put Caulfield out there. I can't risk anything. I'm going to put Drouin, give the +1 to everybody there. Gallagher, I'm going to move a Tennessee to the third line there. I'm going to stack up that third line. Kovalchuk, Pilling, Suzuki in the fourth. As for defense, I honestly really can't change anything. Carey Price there in 85 overall. Taking a look at special teams, Caulfield, Kakanyemi, Domi, Weber, Drouin, Steele, Kreider, Gallagher, Kovalchuk, and Brody. I think I should have Romanov, honestly, out there. So I'm going to move Drouin to the second unit. I'm going to remove Kreider, and I should have done this a while ago. Romanov is going to get some power play time. So hopefully those line changes spark the team and make an incredible comeback. Come on, 55 wins on the year. We can win 3 more against the New York Rangers. Here we go, playing in Montreal. We got 2 at home, 1 away for the last 3 games. Started off with win number 1 here out of those last 3. Nothing after the first. Period number 2, 1-1. Sam Steele and Capo Caco once again. This is it, guys. Win or go home. We got 13 minutes left. All we need is 1 shot. We need 1 hero. I don't care who it is. First, second, third, or fourth line. And Imanin scores, the young kid, the second overall pick, and is he going to be the one that eliminates us in round number 1? But no, Chris Kreider against his former team scores a huge goal with less than 2 minutes left. We're heading into overtime. Playoff hopes are still alive. We get a power play. Can we score? No, but York gets a power play of their own, which we kill. Another 5-on-4. Come on, boys. They can't score on back-to-back power plays. They can't score on 2 power plays, and there it is. Adam Fox breaks the heart of Montreal fans. We lose against the New York Rangers, and for a second straight year in a row, we're eliminated in the playoffs. I honestly thought we had a good team. The thing that I think actually hurt us is that Carey Price's rating went down. He did let in quite a bit of goals, and I'm honestly worried for next year, making $10 million. I don't know, guys. I wanted to win the Stanley Cup with Carey Price, but this may have been my last opportunity. I may trade him at the end of the offseason. We'll take a look at that because I took a look around the league. There are a few goaltending options we could potentially use. Domi, 6 points. Caulfield, 5. Drouin, Romanov had 3. I'm going to take a look how Carey Price did. Yeah, those were not good stats at all. For $10 million at 34, I don't know. Starting to get a bit worried about that. Looking forward to see who won the Stanley Cup. The Panthers have actually fired their head coach. So the New York Rangers actually ended up winning the Stanley Cup, and the Hershey Bears won the Calder Cup. So congrats to New York. We actually lost eventually to the best team in the league. So from 1994, they actually won the Stanley Cup. Almost 30 years later, the Rangers did, and the Ottawa Senators jumped from 11 to 2 in the draft lottery. Florida goes from 5 to 1. LA 1 to 4. New Jersey as well 6 to 3. Detroit from 2 to 5. A lot of movement in that draft lottery. So the Florida Panthers and the Ottawa Senators and the New Jersey Devils will have the top 3 picks in the upcoming draft. I'm going to take a quick look at the draft class as well. I'll do the draft in the offseason in the next episode. Corey Perry calls it a career, as well as Pominville. Dano Chara, playing until he was 45 as a member of the Jets, played in 1,731 games, had 703 points. Oh my goodness, what a career for Chara. We're in 2022. He plays since 1996. So he played in 26 NHL seasons. Wow. Unreal career for Big Z. There's Filppula, Jokinen, Backus, Lucic, Nielsen, Seabrook, going down the list of all the big names. And then we'll take a look at goaltenders, see who called it quits. Schneider, Hutton, and Toivonen. So those are your retirees. A couple of guys in the AHL. So looking at our head coach here, Silas Molson, 62% team fit, A's across the board, and a 69 staff chemistry. Coaching doesn't seem to be the problem here, to be honest. I think the problem would have been defense and probably goaltending. I don't want to blame it all on Carey Price. The team didn't score a lot, but definitely dropping to an 85. It's just the simulation didn't do him well at all. Taking a look at the draft class now. For a 2022 draft, top 5 are medium elite. So starting off, Stéphane Coulomb, 18-year-old out of the Gatineau pick. Similar to Nicholas Backstrom, he had a great year. 114 points, 44 goals. Wow. Then you got Blake Pogge, who's a defenseman, 18 years old. Similar to Victor Hedman, so definitely a very good offensive puck-moving defenseman. 72 points there. Then number 3, Shane Wright. He's going to be insane. Centerman for the Kingston Frontenacs. 93 points, 31 goals at 18. Similar to Nicholas Backstrom as well. Marco Martins there, left winger out of the league at 18 at 21 points. Similar to Michel Goulet, a sniper. Then you got Mathieu Savoie there. Similar to Sean Couturier as a centerman at 18. He had 109 points in 69 games. 36 goals for the Winnipeg Ice. Awesome there. Ethan Gaucher, Marco Koivu, Lebeau Petrie, Abraham Petrie. Be cool to keep the name Koivu, bringing back to Montreal. Thornton there could be elite. I'm going to take a look if there's any late draft steals, maybe some franchise guys. Looks like there's one here. Ruben DeSantis. He's a guaranteed medium elite there. Left winger at 66 overall. Then you got this guy here, Marek Marchenko, a defenseman. He's guaranteed medium elite as well. So we got to look at those 2 guys for sure. This guy here, Tristan Morrow, a goaltender, 3/4, could be elite. Going to pin him as well. And definitely going to have to take a look at those when we do the draft. So New York Rangers, of course, won the Cup. We won the President's Trophy. The Clarence Campbell went to the Ducks. So it looks like they beat Anaheim, who made it to the finals for a 2nd straight year in a row. The Art Ross went to Tyler Seguin, as well as the Hart. Norris went to Riley. Lady Bing goes to Cole Caulfield. There you go. That's awesome to see. Imanin won the Calder, of course. He was a huge part of that Rangers team. Conn Smythe goes to the Breadman, or Timmy Panarin. Vezina, Vasilevsky, as well as the Jennings for the 3rd year in a row. His 3rd Vezina in 4 years. What a great stretch for Vasilevsky. Masterton goes to Chara at 45 years old. The Jack Adams goes to the Minnesota Wild coach. The Selke goes to Kopitar. At this point, it's either Kopitar or Riley every year. Ted Lindsay goes to Seguin, and a Rocket goes to Cole Caulfield. So Cole Caulfield getting the Rocket and the Lady Bing. Unfortunately, we didn't get the hardware we wanted. But did I see that correctly? Cole Caulfield is a 90 overall, and his potential went up to medium franchise at 21. Oh my goodness, guys. This is insane. Let's look at Kotkaniemi, 90 overall. I'm going to take a look if anybody else went up. But Cole Caulfield just decided to become a franchise winger. Oh my god. Let's look at the contracts here. This is insane. He's still on his entry-level deal for next year as well. So, medium franchise. Kotkaniemi, they're 90. Romanov up to an 88. Weber went down to an 87, unfortunately. So, we're going to maybe have to move a couple of guys there to make cat space for sure. So, maybe have to move a couple of guys to make cat space. Paling and Suzuki went up to an 81. That I like to see. Looking at the goaltending now, I'm kind of scared to see what Carey Price's rating is after those playoffs. He went up to an 87. All right, so he actually, like, this is so weird because he went down during the season to an 85 while he was playing amazing. He had a tough playoff, but he went up to overalls back to an 87. So that is awesome to see, but I mean, Cole Caulfield and Kotkaniemi will have 290 overalls on the first line. That's going to be insane. So taking a look at the playoff tree, the New York Rangers actually swept the Ducks. They beat the Hurricanes in 7. They beat the Rangers. They beat the Leafs in 6. So looking at the West, the Ducks, they beat the Stars in 5. They beat the Oilers in 7. And they swept the Coyotes. So Rangers winning the cup in 4 games. So that's going to do it for the episode, guys. Definitely, I would appreciate it if you left a thumbs up below, a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new so you don't miss out on any of the content coming up. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.